She was diagnosed because she had epilepsy, which in her case was periods of quietness rather than anything dramatic, and you had to be quite aware of them. She would stop in the street, but then she had a bleed, hemorrhage, and then all hell broke loose, and that was quite concerning. So I found her on the floor in the kitchen one time. I luckily came down, and she lost balance. Her eyesight was less good. We went to the opticians once just to test her eyesight because it was clearly giving problems, and he started off in the middle row and said, read the middle row, and she couldn't do that, so read the next biggest, and we got to the top letter, which was a big E, and she couldn't read the big E even, so that was a bit alarming. And we had a neurologist in Norwich Hospital, and he put us in touch with Remus Carolus in Addenbrooke's, and eventually we got to see him, and that was brilliant. And he gave us various options, and we thought, not because we didn't like him, we thought we would like a second opinion, just because we'd like one. Went to the National Hospital at your introduction really, and saw Neil Kitchen. So beforehand, it was in the period when she was epileptic and was on drugs, that was pretty straightforward because they worked well on the epilepsy. But then when she got the hemorrhage, that was quite difficult. So it was a very tense time, and we had to wait quite a long time to get appointments, and we rang up hospital secretaries and got very anxious, and we knew we were going to talk to Dr. Hollis one day of this week, and days came and it didn't happen, and then it got to the next week, and eventually we talked to him and saw him, and that was pretty tense. But we decided then to have the operation, or she did. I mean, it was her decision, but we did it, it was a lot of discussion. It wasn't done sort of, I'm going to do this. And, well, Neil Kitchen said, wait and see. That was while she was still not well. And so we wait and saw, and things didn't get better. So then she had the operation. Deciding to have the operation was her decision. Neil put it out as to the benefits or otherwise of that, and she decided to have it. And Neil was totally brilliant, not only at the surgery but at the personal interactions. And afterwards, well, there was a period of recovery, and I don't think I quite realised how poorly Pat was in a way, and that was maybe a good thing because she started off walking around. We've got a little green in the houses we live in, and we walked around that a couple of times a day. And then I said, come on, we're going over the road. There's a big park, well, medium-sized park there, and she didn't really want to do it. I said, come on, not realising actually probably how scared she was of it. And then it's got better and better. She was 55 when she had her diagnosis, and before that she was Pat, and then after the diagnosis she had these turns, and that made her slightly different, but it wasn't all that different with the drugs. And then when she came back and had recovered, say a year, it probably took a year in her case to recover. Was she different from when she was 10 years before that? Probably in some ways she was, but whether that was due to the Cavernoma or just simply to 10 years getting older, who knows? Well, she's basically the same person. We don't talk about her Cavernoma. We talk about your Cavernoma, as it were, the Cavernoma Alliance's Cavernoma, but her Cavernoma isn't a topic. The issue is, does she still get epileptic episodes? And she is incredibly. She says things are episodes which I wouldn't, and so when we go to see the neurologist, which we do every year, have you had any episodes in the last year? Well, yes, I have. I had one on May the 3rd, and it was sort of lasted 10 seconds, and I think it was an episode, but I'm not quite sure. And we don't start the talking for her driving again. To my eyes, they're so doubtful that they're episodes, really. Well, she would know better than me, that I wonder whether they're declarable, really. But in terms of how she is, she's bad.